and welcome back to another edition, another rendition of Indiepocalypse Radio. I was gonna open with a little fun mention of I made a fun game, a little puzzle of this opening, the preamble, the audio preamble. You know the word for an audio preamble. The not the preface. That's also not audio. The overture, I think, and the overture is kind of it. But anyway. I got it. Also, minor correction. I got the little remastered gremlin snuck its way into my metadata once again. And listen. I don't feel like I need to tell people that number one record did not come out in 2009 and that it actually came out in 1972. But listen, if you didn't know, Big Star's number one record came out in 1972, not 2009. What an absurdity! But you're probably, if you're listening to this thing, you're probably like, "Hey, who's this person lecturing me about release dates of albums? That seems wholly unnecessary. Isn't this about video games?" Kind of. But anyway, I'm Andrew. I create Indie Apocalypse, the home of the unmarketable, the real place for games that you're like, this game was 30 minutes long. I'm gonna refund it on Steam because I have a weird relationship in my life with the length of things and the amount of money I spend on them. I had someone telling me at a flea market I attended recently, well, if I spend $12 for a movie, that means $6 for every hour, and which means if a game is at least, and I'm like, shut up, I don't care. Oh, I said it in the politest way possible, which was, well, I just don't. I think it's very weird to associate the length of a piece of art with the amount of money it is. But anyway, um, it's the show. There are people here, are game developers here. It's the how it is. Um, Speaking of game developers, we've got one here, who you may remember from issue 24 of Indiepocalypse with lonely kids around the cul-de-sac. It's Leah or it's Jerry. Oh no, my thing screwed up. So anyway, it's Jerry's here. Jerry, I accidentally. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm ready and raring to go. Oh, I forgot all my memos, my little things that I do where I say the show is live. But anyway, I hit the thing real hard. The the opening monologue, if you will. So important question to get out of the way while I do my notifications. Jerry, where did you hear about Indiepocalypse?
I think it just showed up on my HIO front page or whatever you call that, and uh I can't. I think it was like over a year ago. But one of them showed up, and I was like, oh, pretty cool. And then a couple months later, when I was looking for a game jam to join, I realized that you could actually submit your games, and so I submitted mine.
Perfect. Yeah, it's I found that's kind of like my intent. It's like, wow, it's really easy to just be like, oh, here's a I can just add it to this game jam. I don't have to do any extra work to submit my thing. I don't have to find a Google form. You don't have to
Yeah.
find. That's kind of like the dream of it.
Yeah.
But well, perfect. And now, for people who want to wear, what would you say? How would you describe lonely kids around the cul-de-sac?
Well, I guess it's. I think I described it as a visual novel on like the description. So, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's pretty much a visual novel where you. It's like a horror themed kind of where you go around a neighborhood and basically you trick or treat on different houses, and it's a little creepy and short, and that's pretty much it. I think.
Oh, perfect. Now, do you prefer to trade in horror in general, or is that just like a?
Well, it was like a Halloween, like a spooked over jam, so
Okay.
that's why it was horror themed. But it's, I mean, I guess I'd like to make more horror games in the future, but I haven't made many.
Yeah, I mean, also that's like harder to make games in general. They're not like I'm sort of. They're not. I feel like they are easy to make, but not like. I think people say games are hard to make because everyone expects a game by default has to be like 4 to 8 hours long at the minimum, and like sure that's hard to make, but you don't actually need to make games that are that long.
Yeah,
All music would be hard to make if everything had to be like a 30-piece orchestra.
yeah, yeah.
So what is your where's your how should I say, what video games do you yourself tend to play? Like, do you have kind of like a default sort of genre you lend yourself to, or do you kind of go to whatever?
Um, well, I think I prefer like story-driven games, but of whatever genre.
Yeah,
It's okay. I don't really play that many. I Yeah, but I think I prefer story-driven games. Sometimes I play like little games as well on HAO.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but then I guess when I'm playing with friends, it's usually like multiplayer, whatever games like that.
right, right. It's easier because it's there. I think there are sort of like single player games that are like sort of multiplayer experience. I think, but that's not a lot of games.
Yeah,
That are kind of like whether
I
it's
think there's like a sound from outside. Yeah.
don't. I think I heard it for a brief moment, but
Oh,
it's if it's there, it's long gone.
okay, perfect.
And plus, like I think 2 years, 2+ years of almost everybody recording from home has trained the audio audience to be on the lookout for passing cars, dogs, sirens. It's become a natural space, like a natural piece of radio and podcasting. So I don't think you have anything to worry about too much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But and in doing this and making a game, do you have like a so? I think this. I like to think look at it like how a friend group. Do you have a? Does your friend group? Do you have like a consistent like this is my online multiplayer or in person multiplayer like friend group that plays games, or is like a large pool?
Um. Yeah, I guess I used to not really play that many games before quarantine, but since I guess we've kind of made like a server where it's like a bunch of people that usually play together. I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a.
but the more I yeah
Oh no, keep going. Ignore.
no yeah, but the more I guess I'm able to like get out of the house, the less I feel like playing. I guess
Yeah.
usually.
No, that tracks because like why you know it's it's a lot to be sort of like online, and as I go through like all the free games I've acquired through like the various platforms, I find myself like back when I did this like a couple of years ago and I was going through Steam, I think, and I was playing through all those Steam sale games, I would pose a question where it's like, am I playing this game? Am I getting any kind of experience from this game, or like did I play this game? Did the time just pass? Did I just use it as a tool to pass time? And I think there are like
Yeah.
there can be a lot that's just like they're just real time games are real time sinks.
Yes. Yes.
They increasingly want to like absorb your entire day, and it's like that's why I think I'm trying to help and promote games that are like shorter because it's nice to be able to play a game for like 10 minutes and then you've played the whole game and it's done and you've gotten something out of it rather than
Yeah. I'm sorry, you were saying?
no. Number one rule of the show: if you want to say something, and I'm still talking. I'll bow out, and you just keep going.
Okay. No, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I tend to prefer shorter games, and usually like a couple of hours is like perfect for me. But also like 30 minutes, 15-minute games are like lovely.
Yeah, yeah. It's because the kind of the march for content, as it were. There's a especially if you're there for story more, and it's like kind of like perfectly fine gameplay that you have to sludge through like 3 hours of it, and then you get a little drip feed of story content, which is a very weird way to like. I feel like games just need like editors in general. They need a lot more
Yeah.
editors. There's a lot of like fat on them that I think could be trimmed, but it's this weird thing that's antithetical to like this idea of antithetical rather to this idea of games need to constantly be longer.
Yeah, but I guess it's like you said a little earlier. Like a lot of people uh, are like very interested in how long a game is to see whether it's like a good investment or
Yeah,
something.
which is a it's like a very unique thing in terms of like art to games because it doesn't
Yeah.
like apply to any other sort of art form necessarily. You don't go to the movies and be like, well, this movie's only 90 minutes long. No thanks. Maybe if it was 3 hours, I would I would watch it.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, especially because I mean you kind of can't make like a 30 minutes an hour or an hour game and then sell it. 'Cause, it's not really like marketable.
Yeah, like definitely on Steam, it's like impossible. Like people, even if
Yeah,
you do sell it, they'll just return it,
yeah, yeah,
and and they'll be like, "Oh, I love the game, but it was only an hour long, so I could still return it." And it's like, why not just keep it? You might want to play it again later. You never know.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a very weird proposition. I guess it's part of it because they're so long. I guess maybe they're generally not as conditioned to be replayable. I guess because it's like, well, I just played through. Am I ready to commit another recommit? You know, 10 to 12 hours to get something.
yeah,
Especially when there is so much you know, uh, like fat on them, for lack of a better word. That like, oh, I could trim a lot of this. I could trim this. I remember thinking that when I was watching like a old network television show, network drama ish sort of thing. I'm like, well, this is you could lose half the episodes in every season, and this would be a much better show. You don't really need all these things.
yeah. Mm. Well, I guess it's also because like video games gonna have to compete with games that are like I guess infinitely replayable, like uh, like games that don't have like a story or anything that you can like just like play however as much as you want, like an FPS game or something like
Yeah.
that. And there's no like an equivalent to that in other mediums.
Right, right. The closest thing is like reality television maybe of like functionally like replaceable, but like there's just like it's just a bunch of it nonstop. But it's like
Yeah, I guess.
or like sports games perhaps where like each individual one is kind of like any matching Call of Duty, but you can just keep watching them, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like a very different goal in like the creation of like what you're trying to get out of it, I guess. Because they're not really. I guess they are trying to tell a story, but like not in the same way, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely like there's no equivalent in like music for like music that is not intended to be. I don't know. I guess is that like royalty free music that plays in stores that are too cheap to pay for licensing.
Uh, yeah, I guess.
But now that you're more out and more free, what was the first thing you were like? Oh, I need to get back to this thing in particular after years of being locked inside, kind of thing.
Um, I'm not sure. I guess. Well, I'm still a student, so I guess going back to my actual campus
Oh
was
yeah,
like the big thing.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
that can be, especially if you like if you're not like did you live on campus or do you live on campus or like in within like university housing?
It's like an I guess an apartment
Okay.
close to the campus. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say like especially if you were like in campus housing and then you're like, oh well, I can't go there, but I'm still like here functionally. I'm still have the room and board. It would feel especially strange.
Oh yeah, no. What I do, like during quarantine, I went back home, so I wasn't there.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense to be instead of being like 2 minutes from your campus and then being like, well, I guess I'm on my computer, but I'm still paying this their big room and board fees.
Yeah, no, I would have been a lot worse, but no, I went back. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I, so tell me a little bit about. I guess your. So do you as a developer do you tend to or do you prefer? Because let me look at this stuff because I think you have also you've worked as like a team because we get like all sorts of developers through this show. We've got some who are like, oh, I love working with people. Am like a real jack of all trades, do it all, and having done both, what is your experience in like just doing a part of a game versus doing the entirety of a game? And is there like a preference either way?
Yeah, I definitely prefer being part of a team because I mean, I think my skills are very limited. I mostly just code. Uh, yeah, so my last few projects have been like team projects, and I've honestly enjoyed them like so much more than just making something by myself. Especially because I can't do stuff that I would like to.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely I definitely prefer teams.
yeah, because games are like a tricky thing where it's like you can be like, oh, I'm getting into this, and you realize, oh, these things need sound as well or something, or you've written it out and like coded it out and you're like, oh, I suppose games need art as well. And like there's so many pieces that go into making a game. It's very easy or not easy, but like it's approachable enough to come into it from like an arts field and be good at one specific part of it and then having to like fudge your way through the other 2 to 3 parts that you're like, I'm not so great at programming or whatever or art or sound or one of those things. So it's nice.
Yeah, I usually whenever I'm working by myself, end up I start up like I start off wanting to make music for the game, and then I just give up at some point, and on the last day I usually look up like royalty free music or
Yeah,
use like one of those AI generated music like programs, which are usually like not great, but yeah,
but functional.
yes,
It is sound that is playing instead of abject silence, instead of play the song and then have in your description. And this is the music I was listening to while I made it. Might I recommend you listen to it as well? It's
yeah,
kind of the unofficial soundtrack, which is something I wish I could do sometimes. Like, well, I was just listening to this whole time while I was playing it. Why don't I just have them play that? But
yeah. That's an interesting idea.
it is a very very strange approach to it all. But
Yeah.
um, but we are cresting, if you believe it already, the 20-minute mark of our and the end of our segment here. We let me do a last check. We use nope, we do not. So Jerry, thank you so much for being. I hope you will stick around. There are more segments to be had, but in the meantime, thank you so much for both, submitting your game and coming on to the show today.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be here. I think. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Let me get
Okay.
everything arranged, and I will be back in um, like 2 minutes 16 seconds. Which, if you think about it, is a bit of a clue for my puzzle at the top of the show. Anyway, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was Joy Division with Interzone. Uh, we are here with our next guest, who you may know from the very recent, the latest, and the, there's no greatest. They're all the greatest. These are like it's like picking your children or whatever. Even though there's
Hello there.
hello there. She barged in before his name. It's Leo from By the World's Wind. Leo, how you doing?
I'm still kicking. I'm doing all right. Happy
That's
to be here.
that's a great way to be. I have not had any ghosts on this podcast on this show so far as I can tell, but I've
I'm
got
sure it's come close.
I've got my EMF reader at the ready just to make sure. Um, Leo, important question that everyone is dying to know: do you think ghosts are real?
Do I think ghosts are real? I think that a lot of things are real.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't personally believe in them, I see no reason for that to stop them from existing.
yeah. I feel like my approach to most of these things, these unseeable forces, are like there's no reason they couldn't exist, but would it'd be really weird if we got it right, you know?
Yeah.
If
Uh,
we figured it all out.
yeah, exactly. Just I mean, all these like superstitions and I won't get into atheism too much, but just like, what are the chances that like, I 100 this like book over here, this like weird idea we have about stepping on a crack is like 100% accurate. Just
Yeah.
like I've never been right about anything. Why would like this be any different?
Right. We're just animals that started standing upright, got thumbs, and got real full of ourselves. We don't have the answers any
Yeah,
more than anything else does.
yeah,
We're just a fucking we're just we got
yeah,
too much gumption than we deserve.
yeah. One day I'm gonna crawl back into the sea, and that'll be it. No more thinking.
Exactly. And these fish will be like, he's got an EMF for you. He's telling you all about the ghosts, all the dots. No, they're not called dots. What are they called? What are those things called?
Um, ghost waves.
Yeah, there's a word for like the dots, the ghost dots.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me
Can't help
either.
you there.
I'm not a ghost expert.
Ectoplasm.
Maybe.
Going down the list of my ghost words.
I remember there was a Kickstarter back in the very early days of Kickstarter. Floaters, maybe floaters. Floaters sounds
Oh
right.
yeah. No, I think that's it.
There was like I said, these were in the real early days of Kickstarter, but there was like a local, like very local, like 20 minutes or 40 minutes from where I live, like someone trying to start a ghost show or whatever, and it was like a picture of them standing in front of some old building. And it was like a description like, we believe in ghosts. We want to hunt ghosts. Send us some money. And
I hope they got their money.
I don't think they did.
I mean, yeah, that seems like a hard thing to kickstart, but like I love those like real like roadside like tourist trap sort of situations where they're just like here to prey on the bored children and people needing to go pee.
Yeah.
And like you're suddenly pulling over to see like a big plastic statue of a dinosaur and paying $15 to like take a picture with it.
Yeah. Where else are you going to buy pewter wizards?
100%, yeah.
That's the only place in my life that I only remember ever seeing them like taking vacations and like.
Yeah, I think my mom collects she breaks them out at Christmas like weird Santas, and she has one that I think was just like Peter Wizard repainted to be Santa.
Oh my gosh. What a dream of it. Does he have a crystal?
No, but he's definitely got like a tall staff and like a pointy, like a way like pointier hat than Santa ought to with stars on it.
I now really a second question. Are you sure that Santa is not a wizard?
You know, I think he's got to be,
Yeah.
but like I also don't think that. Well, you know, like I think he's found his lane. Like he's not showing up to like conferences with like Gandalf and whatever to like.
Okay. He's kind
Yeah,
of
he's like, yeah.
right. He's kind of like doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's just like even amongst wizard standards, he's like a bit of a weirdo. Like what does he need all those elves for?
Right.
Isn't he magic?
He works one day a year,
Yeah,
and he just does. He's just very like benevolent, sort of,
yeah,
but kind of a creep.
yeah. He's both beloved and the most terrifying wizard of them all. Like, what is he? He knows when you're sleeping. Like,
Yeah. Nobody needs to know that. Speaking of knowing when you're sleeping, and I'm awake right now, and for all the people that are awake out there, how would you describe to them By the World's Wind?
I'd call it my most normal game. Um, it's a little exploration, open worldy game where you sail around and do stuff. And like in a desperate bid to get people to play it, I really like hyped up the map making aspect of it, which is like the most game mechanic-y part of it.
Yeah.
Where you have like a blank map and it just shows your relative location on it, and you can just draw whatever you see or like put little stamps down and create your own map. Or draw butts on it.
Yeah, you trick gamers into thinking there is an objective in the game,
Yeah.
which they love. A gamer loves an objective.
I just love when numbers go up and like things get checked off a list.
Listen,
Yep.
I'll be honest. I do.
I mean, yeah, no, it's like the most basic like dopamine and easily available dopamine drip there is.
Yeah, I like both things. I like 4-hour character studies where nothing happens, and then I like
Yeah.
games in which numbers go up.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at your stream here. I like how it's tagged good characters.
oh, thank you, thank you. I was like, what do you tag these things?
Yeah.
This time I remembered to change the description for who's on the show, and this I did a new thing where I also put like your aliases because
Oh, nice.
people aren't gonna know who Jerry and Leo are.
Yeah. That's like, yeah. It's sort of back to like game stuff. This was like a sort of almost like half-hearted attempt to like make something that people might be interested in playing.
Yeah.
and be able to find, but like I'm so like I'm like named different stuff all over the place, and it's like so hard for me to like consistently like make that accessible and also like post about what I'm doing. Like someone like I had someone pushing me to like this game started. I was just like, yeah, I'll make like a little thing for a month, and like someone's like, no, this is good. You should like I'll help you like look for publishers and stuff, and like that kind of sort of fell through. But then I was like stuck making this game bigger
Yeah.
than it was, and at that point, like I was excited about it at that point, but like in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just sort of like in open waters here,
Yeah, it's
like
perfect.
doing this longer project, and like, do I keep? So I like made an effort to like on the separate Twitter account like post with like once a week with like emojis and hashtags and
Oh my
everything to
God.
like yeah, and like I felt terrible doing it because they're like, all right, here's a little sailboat icon. Please look at my thing.
No, okay. As someone who did that, do do people get who's the person that gets something out of like
No
I,
one,
yeah,
because you're 100% like I did it to like finally prove to myself that I don't have to do this. I
right.
guess.
Yeah. It feels like it's
Um.
exclusively for other marketers and community managers.
Yes. Yeah. No. The only it's a fucking the game like indie game dev hashtag Twitter is like just a cesspool of everyone desperately trying to market it to each other, which is
Yes.
not your audience at all.
Luckily it's halfway my audience, so I don't mind using it as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, they need to find it because I need more submissions in the future.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
that makes sense, and like is probably how most people come to this.
and
And like,
that's the other thing. Have you ever in your life, Leo, sat down on a website and typed in a hashtag and searched and just browsed through a hashtag?
not once.
Yeah, that's neither have I.
Yeah,
That's why
but
I'm.
like, someone was like, "Yeah, you should do this every week," and I'm like, and actually, what happened was like, "Will you do it for me?" And they said yes, and then like 3 weeks later, they dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah,
So I'm like, in an effort to like prove something, I was just like, "All right, I'll keep doing it, I guess." And here I am. I don't know if anything came. Like I have no. There's also like no way to prove. Like I got like some sales when the game came out, like a few. There's no way to prove that someone didn't find it through Twitter, but
right.
also like I don't know. I don't think anyone else trying to make like whatever stuff they were making, like liking it, retweeting it in the hopes that I follow them and buy their thing, were like really.
Now, I get infinitely more success from any given time that somebody far more popular than me speaks highly of Indiepocalypse. And I get like like way more attention, guaranteed like one to two new follows, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's just from someone
Um.
like a big account being like Indiepocalypse good, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. I had like actually like I had my more successful well-known game dev friend. Well, actually, they retweeted the game once when it came out, and like I have no idea. Like, not many people bought it the
Yeah,
first day.
here's the thing. I feel like just a naked retweet doesn't actually do very much.
No, yeah, but then recently they were talking about how they were playing Firewatch, and they wished there were more games where you just have like you don't have a map that tells you where everything exactly is, and you have to figure it out yourself. And then they mentioned my game as like one of the only other examples they can think of, and I got a bunch of organic like follows and like sales from that. So like people just want people to sound like humans and talk
Right.
about stuff they like.
Yeah, it's so easy. I mean, how many people like turn off retweets?
Yeah.
It's just like it's the only way to make like it more manageable to read. It's just like, and that's why I'm lazy. Sometimes I can't get around to, but like that's where the quote tweet comes in handy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this person feels like they're endorsing it and they're speaking of it positively in a way that
Yeah.
is more meaningful because you retweet 10 billion things in a day or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of discoverability, Leo, how did you discover Indiepocalypse?
Okay. So about 2 years ago I had like recently finished this other game with a friend, And that friend is like way more like in touch with everything going on in games. Where I'm like, I don't even know what PlayStation number we're up to at this point. Like, I'm really checked out.
We're at
Uh,
5.
oh,
I
awesome.
hope you.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a clue, a little hint
Yeah,
about it. It basically feels the same as 3.
yeah. That's where I checked out.
Yeah, that's where I
I'd
did
have
too.
to. Yeah,
And I feel like the PS3 360 people will be like, "Oh wow, their sweat looks way better," but like,
yeah. Can't believe they're remaking Last of Us. Whatever.
yeah, but like
3
functionally,
as far as I can tell, it came out 3 years ago. Like,
yeah, well, it probably did come out 3 years ago, and it came out 2 years ago, and 5 years ago, and
yeah.
yeah, anyway,
Okay, so Indiepocalypse.
yeah,
So I but like this friend like knows everything from like the tiniest like indie unmarketable stuff to, as far as I can tell, to like everything going on in AAA. They're just like super aware of stuff. And I'm like, and then like somehow I think it was through Twitter I saw Indiepocalypse and I was like, fuck yeah, I doubt they've heard of this. I can like impress them by like suggesting we submit our game to this. And of course I I never actually submitted because like I scatterbrained and didn't get
right.
through. But I showed it to them and they're like, "Oh, you haven't heard of Indiepocalypse? Like, of course, it's like super awesome and cool." I'm like, "God damn it!" I thought for sure I had them on this one.
That's been a very weird experience for me, like going to conventions and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Because I feel like I am unironically the guy in the corner who says, "I can't believe these people don't know about Indiepocalypse."
yeah,
Because it feels like from me, I'm like, wow, this is like super well connected, and like a bunch of people know about it. Then I go to like the middle of Columbus, Ohio, and people are like, "What is this thing?" I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, this thing. What do you mean? What is this thing? It's
This is
the
my life.
it's the forefront of the indie games community or whatever. It's like
How does
no,
it feel to be the forefront of the indie games community,
it's really
if I may
bizarre
ask?
to be like, because I still have like no sense of like what my position is. I'm constantly
Yeah,
like what is my standing? What is my place in the world?
yeah.
And I
Your place is the thing people can point at to say that, look, there's cool indie stuff happening over there. Maybe someone should support this.
Yeah, that's the tricky. Like, then how do I get the people to? I mean, it's actually, I mean, relatively speaking, to when it started, it's actually fairly well supported. All
Yeah,
things
okay.
considered.
Hey,
Uh,
that's great.
Still not profitable.
No.
Get ready for July 1st, the Indiepocalypse Pledge Drive. I'm gonna make all that money back. This year's the year, you know. I'm gonna,
Yeah. You doing a pledge drive?
yeah, on the
All right.
starting on the first. I mean, this time I'm gonna run through the whole month.
Okay.
But that
Yeah.
an event because people love events.
Yeah, yeah. If there's like a little meter saying like how much money has been raised, everyone gets excited.
Yeah, it's gonna have a meter too, and this time
Yeah.
I'm
Remember, go
gonna
big.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make it so what it is like so during it I do a pay what you want bundle of you know what before this since this is kind of like this new business in a way, this is the start of new
Mhm.
business, and we've hit our 20-minute mark ish for our talk here.
All right.
I'm gonna go on one more break, and then we will be back with Pledge Drive and all sorts of new exciting indie game chatting.
All right. Sounds good.
Uh, but we'll be back in where is my little Fubar 2000? We'll be back in like 3 minutes and 15 seconds. That's also a clue. Also, if you go to Leo's itch page, there's another important clue. Do you get a prize if you discover what my puzzle was? I don't think so. But anyway, we'll be back. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was Waylon Jennings live by the Mountain Goats. I'm just running through this catalog, much like everyone is used to Kate Bush and running up those hills nowadays. That's a weird thing that happens every now and then because a song appears in a popular thing, and then everyone gets real hopped up on that song for like a week, and then I'm like, just listen to all of Hounds of Love. It's a good album.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've seen the movie. The movie that is sampled in the titular Hounds of Love is a cool movie. I forget the name of it, but the part where he's like, "It's coming through the trees." It's like an old British.
Oh.
It's like an old British folk horror movie with
Oh,
like a weird
Interesting.
with like a weird wizard guy. It's very cool.
Wizard horror.
Yeah, I believe that's. I mean, I can look it up very quickly. Hounds of Love is not an obscure song, so I can tell.
Yeah.
It's very easy to know what it samples. I should probably type sample instead. It's the trees. Yes, it's the trees. It is. Night of the Demon.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
It's a very 1957's Night of the Demon. It's a cool movie. I like that movie. It's just like is this the one I'm thinking of? That has like, yes, just like the relationship between like the antagonist. It's just a very strange relationship that the antagonist has. If it's the movie I'm thinking, or if I'm conflating with another folk horror movie of that era with a weird wizard in it.
More just everything should have weird wizards in it.
There is. I wonder. I could probably get away with it in doing a movie night on this channel at some point, but there's this old BBC not analysis. There's this old BBC version of Whisper and I'll Come to Whistle and I'll Come to You, not Whisper and I'll Come to You. Whistle and I'll Come to You from 1968. And it's just like bizarre. And it's it's basically like a one-hander more or less, but the protagonist is just like his performance is so weird. It's like he's just like plays an absent-minded professor more or less who's just like stammering and mumbling and muttering, and it's just really bizarre. But it's
Sounds fun. Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorite performances, and like I think about it constantly. Then there's also like a later version that has some actor in it. It's John Hurt, I think.
Okay.
It's very boring.
Yeah. I mean, I love a weird little guy.
He is a actual. Listen, I think sometimes when people talk about weird little guys, it's stolen valor, and they're not weird little guys.
Yeah.
But he is so sincerely a weird little guy that he's just like sitting around eating one of those, those eggs that are served in the tall egg cups. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're often hard boiled. You just like
The things people only do in like illustrated children's book.
Yeah, he's like eating one of those, and he's kind of like muttering and chuckling to himself. And there's a guy across the room that he's kind of talking to, but he's on his own table. Anyway. This is not a whistle and I'll come to you podcast. I think
It could be.
It could be. I do love a friend who's more into horror than I am got me very into horror. And it was a genre that I had kind of sworn off in my youth because I grew up in an era of like schlocky slasher stuff,
Gotcha.
that like seemed bad. And I wasn't like, but like in like the real like doldrums of the Friday the 13th sequels and everything, where they were just real terrible.
Yeah.
But not with any sort of redeeming quality to them.
Friday the 13th 10.
Yes.
Welcome to Hawaii.
Just a lot of real
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, just real trash. Like it was like that 90s like post, like when it was really, I think before horror found its footing in like the mainstream and that kind of thing, but I've come to enjoy it, and it's a real treat. And it's like fascinating from like a sequel standpoint to watch like horror movies and like see where they kind of lose their way in a sense when they lose focus on what the intent of the original film was in any way.
Wouldn't it be cool if this guy murdered some teens?
Yeah, exactly. So we did a thing, a friend and I, where we watched the first Hellraiser, or maybe the first two Hellraisers. I can't remember if we watched them back to
Yeah.
back or if we watched them separately. And the first Hellraiser is a cool movie. It's like got a really cool aesthetic to it, and got a guy that's like way too hot for being made of flesh. And I'm not talking about like the titular Pinhead.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, no, but he has got his flesh on the outside.
Hmm.
But he's still kind of a hunk, regardless. It's very, very strange. Also, it was like very interesting talking. It was very like.
I think I lost you there.
Yeah, no, here I am back now. Yeah, I kicked my
Okay.
thingy. I kicked my little wire out a little. It's back in the sensitive mode. But I was talking about when we were watching them. I was like, this is clearly like. I never in a horror movie I've ever seen someone who's clearly like, this is serving up for the gay men of the 1980s. And my friend was like, no, this guy's more like a Clive Barker in self-insert. I'm like, who do you think Clive Barker is? He's like, all right, oh yeah, right, that guy. Anyway, it's Hellraiser.
More horror hunks.
Yeah, exactly. He's wait, this is a stream. I can just put him on the screen.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Hellraiser.
Other world.
But that's not going to help me, I don't think. What does Hellraiser hunk? Nah, listen, these are kind of hot dudes, but they're not what I'm looking for. This is, so let me get I can probably get both of them and get him without his skin and with his skin and without skin. Flesh. Anyway, but we watched that first one. It's like a movie. There's like stuff going on, you know? There's a story. There's plot. There's ideas. And then we watched like Hellraiser 8 or something. And it's very clearly like, I'm pretty sure, we watched it because it was called Hell World. And we're like, oh, hell yeah, dude. This is going to be
Oh yes, the place where we all live.
Yeah, but it's like, listen, it's called Hell World. There's a bunch of like zeros and ones. It's the tagline. It says "Evil goes online." I'm like,
oh wait, yes.
Yeah, this is gonna be Pinhead inside of an MMO killing teens. But no, there's like a really crappy, like clearly like HTML thing puzzle box that people click on. It's like, oh, we solved it, and then it's just like, so this came.
You've solved your death.
So this came out in 2005. Saw came out in 2004. And it's basically a bunch of elaborate death traps. So whoever owned the Hellraiser license was like, who do we have? We need to make our Saw, but do we have anyone that we can plug into a Saw movie, basically?
You're downloading your toolbars, and then like you just an anvil crushes you from the ceiling.
Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't even online. They just went to a mansion. It was like a 10-minute preamble that was like an invite to like a party in a mansion for teens. And what's his face? One of the Brandons or the Chris's or the those guys. One of those guys is in it. Oh, Henry Cavill. Yeah, sorry. It was Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like a young, maybe the first role of Henry Cavill, maybe kind of like it was with Adam. Adam Scott was, I think, in like Hellraiser 4 or something.
Once you do a Hellraiser sequel, you're in.
Yeah. Once that's your first. I love actors who don't have who have to like really do the real grind before they become popular. Because then you can see all these weird, fun like early roles they were in.
Yeah. I like that. What's his name? The Twilight guy is doing that in reverse.
Yes, no.
Robert Pattinson.
I mean, they both are. And Chris.
Oh yeah.
Those two have been like my favorite trajectory for actors.
It's so good. There was an article from him, or it was like an interview from him, where he was talking about how he was like, well, what have you done during the pandemic? And he's like, well, I've gotten really into microwaving spaghetti.
Yeah.
And he just like goes on and on for like 2 pages about all his different spaghetti techniques.
And I feel like he's also admitted that he just bullshits things 90% of his interviews. He just
Yeah.
makes stuff up.
Yeah, like I love that. That's great.
Yeah,
It's like anyone whose first impulse when there's like a camera on him is just start lying in the most ridiculously way possible. Like that's beautiful.
yeah, is that not in a way what horror is, you know? Or what? Sorry, not horror. I'm too distracted looking at my thing. Acting. Is that not what acting is?
That's true. Yeah.
No, this is hilarious. I need. I'm, I don't look. I have to look up the character's name to do this. Sean Chapman. Okay, there we go. That's not quite what I'm looking for, but oh yeah. So the thing I got too distracted thinking about horror movies, but the point is, how did I get Indiepocalypse Pledge Drive? Right, that's the thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think in a roundabout way. We were yeah. I'm making it as a way to sort of actually get attention to this thing. I go like, yeah, what if I do like a yearly pledge drive? Someone suggested, I believe if I remember this right, if I can remember a year ago ish, I think it was Fred Campbell of issue 15's Winter who said you should do something special for the 20th, like run a special sale or something for the 20th issue. And I was like, I'll do a pledge drive. And then I'll make a special bundle of like the commissioned games at a pay what you want level.
Yeah, nice.
And then also anyone who buys it gets a chance to win a lifetime subscription to Indiepocalypse.
People love a deal.
Yeah, and this is a instead of, and you can't get them together like that normally.
Yeah, it's all about the exclusives.
Yeah, so that's the exclusive bundle of exclusive bundle of these games that you can't get otherwise. Well, not enough pictures of him in the real gross mode. But
have to watch it again.
Yeah. Or this is a GIF. I guess I could use a GIF, but there's a specific suit he wears at some point that's like too good a look for a man who had all this flesh torn off, I think where was that image? I think this is perhaps the closest I'm going to get.
Yeah. There's a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror that stuck with me where the ending is like they all just like turn inside out and then start doing a dance.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I've as an avid as a kid who watched all of those things and watched all of the commentary. I know exactly what you're talking about. And could I sing that entire song they sang? Probably.
Let's hear it.
Not gonna do it, but I could probably.
Will you do it during the pledge drive if enough people?
I don't feel confident in my singing voice, as it were. Generally, maybe I don't know. Who knows? But there's a time and place, and I guess I don't feel confident from an a cappella standpoint. I'll say.
Yeah, you need backup.
Yeah. There's a certain degree of confidence where maybe like anyone could do with karaoke,
Sure, yeah.
Fucking J-Fifs, dude. Whoever wants to use a J-Fif in their life? I never would. It's just a bullshit format that makes you want to do a little bit extra work to download images from the internet. And buddy, I know how to add .jpeg to the name of that file name to turn to a JPEG. I'm not an idiot. I've been on the internet before. So this is the closest I can get to like regular version and flesh version.
Side by side before flesh.
Side by side. Which is the before, which is the after. But
take me a minute.
Yeah. This is the closest I get, but trust me when I tell you, it's not live on the stream yet.
Here he is.
Yeah, he should be arriving soon.
Yeah. I can see it.
He's got
Hard
like,
to like, yeah.
he's just like
Certainly has the poise,
yeah, he's got all the same confidence. He's just in a white suit, but also like he has no flesh.
and it's not stopping him.
No, he's still like there's a lot of horniness for the flesh people in those first two movies.
Yeah. Could
And
start a influencer like wellness brand.
yes,
Look at
exactly.
me.
No moisturizers for him. Doesn't need it. He's moist enough.
No.
Using the puzzle box as a way to really get clear skin.
Yeah, he never has to worry again.
Have it all flayed off.
Simply eliminate your pores forever.
Right. No more moisturizing. And look, he can still talk. He can still smoke. He still got all the stuff you need.
Yeah.
People will still be your brother's wife will still be hot for you. Folks, watch Hellraiser. It's a great movie.
Add that to the pledge drive.
Yeah, the pledge drive of I can't get it taken down. The pledge drive I ostensibly
Yeah.
don't-
It's just a link where everyone can like download it illegally, and then you say 3, 2, 1, go.
yes, and then I shut off my stream quickly so they don't catch me.
Yeah.
I put a link in an image. Now you can listen. Everyone subscribes to like a million.
Temporary QR code. Make everyone scan it.
Yes. Oh,
And
it's
you
my
take it down.
and it's my trap. The QR code is the lament configuration, and then they all see their own pinheads.
Yeah, you're gonna kill all your would-be donators. It's the perfect
flay 'em.
plan.
Just flay them a little. Just a little
Yeah.
flay. A little reminder that pleasure is pain and pain is pleasure.
Everyone needs that now and then.
Man, remember when they made Pinhead NFTs? What a world. I wonder what happened to that.
Yeah, all the people whose like agents insisted that you like buy like Jimmy Fallon's like marketing manager being like, yeah, you simply gotta buy this ape. And then he has to go
Yeah.
on TV and like pretend like he's really into this ape.
That's why not just make a really cool ass box that I can buy and put in my hand? Anyway, I think Clive Barker got Hellraiser back in his possession. Like it's not in like Paramount or whoever owned it at some point.
There's hope.
I think Clive Barker's got it back now. Oh wait, they're right. They were doing a new one. Anyway, this is not the Hellraiser Hell Show. Well, if you had a Hellraiser podcast, what would you name it?
Raising this podcast into your ears.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I yes.
What would you name your Hellraiser? Different Hellraiser podcast.
My different competing Hellraiser podcasts.
Yeah.
The pod configuration.
Perfect.
The Podzol box.
What sort of ads would you run at the front of your
Helix
Hellraiser
matches.
podcast?
Probably. No, I only listen to one podcast that has ads. I've really devolved into or not devolved. I think I've evolved. I think I've ascended into this mentality where I was like, I don't want to listen to ads. I just want to. Can I just pay for like a season of this podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have bought a couple podcasts where I just like bought a season. I'm like, this is cool. I like doing this.
Huh.
I like.
Wow. Yeah.
I paid $10 for some podcasts that I really enjoyed.
My favorite is when like they're doing their own ad reads and you can just like hear the contempt in their voice as they're like reading the ads to you.
Yes. I've there are different qualities I've heard of some that are classically gotten advertisers angry with them. I've heard legend of the Hollywood Handbook ads so much that they have an ad version for even paying people, but I've never taken the dive,
Mm.
despite being that more into my wheelhouse of. At some point in my life, I shifted away from, I don't know, nerd comedy podcasts or whatever to the irony world, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like these are put on by comedians.
Yeah, they're much more listenable. People who are like trained in entertaining people
Yeah, it's funnier
with their voice.
It's really weird how these comedians who do improv or whatever 8 days a week are somehow better at sustaining a bit in character than these yahoos on their couch, you know?
Yeah.
Weird how that is. But anyway, I loved it when Conan and Brian invented podcasts, and I'm glad that they're still around.
Podcast. It's like radio in your mouth.
I love radio in my mouth. I was more inspired by, I liked the idea of radio and doing this show itself.
Yeah.
I liked the idea of, that was, originally, it was even not, I didn't want to archive it because I wanted it to be a radio show that people would, clue in
Radio
on.
Free Hellraiser.
Yes, radio free, that's what I'm doing. I mean, it is partially a pirate radio show.
Yeah.
Which I play songs that I do not own the rights to at all. But
whatever.
Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Fucking Twitch gonna come shut me down? I'll just go to a different platform because I redirect people to indiepocalypse.com/radio so that I could always divert it to something else.
Yeah, and you could just simply make a new Twitch account too.
Right, I can go to Streamable or.
What are the odds they'll find you twice?
Yes, exactly. It'll be just a series of dotted lines of them chasing me to every streaming platform.
Yeah.
Some indie label that.
We'll get you meddlesome indie radio host. Yeah.
Yes, a meddlesome indie independent record label. Yeah, because I mostly I try to the best of my ability. I generally prefer to do independent label stuff on the show, stuff that I hope people hadn't heard of. My last week I opened up with 5 or 6 things from an album that was showcasing shoegaze from the Philippines.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you're a real Bandcamp freak like me, you. Just kind of I have an album of Bolivian goth, and it's just real good stuff.
I hear about this Filipino shoegaze.
It's the album. What was the album called? It was Astral something. It's really good. If you like shoegaze, I like shoegaze.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Listen to Loveless.
I've listened to. I own Loveless.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's under various because it's like a mix. I know my Bloody Valentine and one other band. I've listened to Lush. I've listened to Deluxe. And actually, there's a really cool one. I forgot the name of because it's got a weird thing that Veld. VELDT. It's it's like funk shoegaze or whatever. It's wild and I love it. Highly recommend. I'm gonna go to my YouTube. That's how I find it because I added it to a playlist. I make a giant playlist of all these things.
Nice.
Oh, Alpus Beyond Reverb. ALPAS.
Okay. Yeah.
Beyond Reverb.
Got it.
I think, and a lot of those compilations are often pay what you want on Bandcamp, probably because they don't want to worry about the logistics of
paying
20
people.
artists. Yeah. But
Shoegaze Filipinos. Right.
Yeah, Shoegaze Philippines. Folks, they make great music all over the world.
Who would have thought? It's not just here in the States.
Yeah. My
other countries have music too.
Yeah, my unofficial unofficial theme song that I use for this of Drinking Boys and Girls Choir is like a South Korean punk band.
Oh yeah.
And that was so. If you, I don't know how familiar you are with the ongoing saga of me having lost all my luggage.
I've saw some of the tweets about that.
Yeah, I had a logo ringer tee of that shirt, and it's now out of stock.
Damn.
And I'm pissed. And
Yeah. Oof.
I lost.
Write to
fast.
them,
Yeah,
begging them, please.
Please, I can't fit in a small. I know I can't fit in a small.
Oh yeah.
It's not even like I could like it's not even a weight issue. I'm simply too tall to fit into a small.
Yeah, no, it just won't work.
Yeah. Like mediums are like the extent, like some mediums.
Buy the small and frame it, but
yeah, I did buy another shirt from them. I got it's a marriage license shirt from their second album, which is cool. It's two fingers flipping you off.
Oh, nice.
I think technically, I don't speak Korean, as it were, but I think they are sometimes labeled under queercore punk. But
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool band. I like them. I like a lot of punk music.
Yeah.
It feels. I love the rugged rawness of it. You know.
Yeah.
I like.
Well, I love it like a foreign language like punk noise because some that at some points they're saying gibberish, and and then you okay, now I think they're speaking words now, and I feel listening, hearing the just the flow of it and not having permission to not have to think about what if they mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sentiment comes you can feel the
Yeah.
sentiment anyway. You can feel
it's all vibes.
You can feel the passion of it. Like they're pissed about something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
For all I know, they're just saying "fuck you, Dad," and
Yeah.
I'm yeah, I'm into it. Whatever it is.
So, as people, as hot off Twitter presses, I'm gonna play that. I wish I had a sound. I should at some point invest in a soundboard. Because soundboards are they're like audio gifts when you think about it.
That's true. Yeah. Different pitches of air horn.
Yeah, no, I would get very in the weeds of soundboards. I think they are I think soundboard artistry is an important thing. I think air horns are just the beginning, but
yeah, you got your fart noises, you got your air horns.
You need to have your go-to, your signature sound clips that why do you have this clip from now solo? There's a recently soloed longtime game journalist who's got an A+ soundboard game, and it's where do all these clips come from? They're exceptional clips. They're from things that are just real trash video, real what's the word? Who are the famous purveyors of trash video? You know the ones. Oh, Carnage, TV Carnage. I think I was thinking of. Or everything's
familiar,
terrible. Oh, they're if you're a real connoisseur of just bad media and weird home videos and local broadcasts and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. I like that sort of because it's like stuff that feels like something, you know?
Yeah. People were here looking at a thing.
But
I don't like talking about it.
Yeah, I wanna be shocked by how those old people are rapping about Christ and what Jesus Christ is to them.
Killdozer reaction videos.
You'll never guess. You'll never guess. It's a real treat. I don't know if you search up old Jesus rap. I don't know how to find it. I'm sure I could find it if I looked for it.
Yeah.
Look it up. I think it's a semi. As far as those clips goes, it's
okay.
It's somewhat famous, and you're in for a real treat. Listen to it with headphones on though, but
You can't tell me what to do.
You're listen. Don't listen to it.
I'm gonna do it at the library
Ooh. All
without
I'm
him.
saying is, you'll be surprised the words they say, but to relate to the youths.
Hmm.
But
Okay, got it.
yeah, they.
Maybe I won't do it at the library.
No, it's a real shock to the system, but the sound clip like sticks in my head forever.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
the poor rap delivery of that line. But to the original point, the late breaking news. There's an approaching virality for a something I'm sure to see, something that may even become discourse in the
Oh, I love discourse.
I approach
Everyone loves discourse.
I approach discourse like a seagull. I've found is the best approach. Where it's like, oh, there's discourse coming in, but discourse is like someone's food. And
Yeah,
I'm
you just like go in and you peck at it a bit.
I'm like,
you
I
fly
want one
off,
of these French fries.
Then you shit on their head.
Yeah, I'm like, I want one of these French fries. So I try to skate in real quick, do something real quick, and then maybe scoop a couple followers or like attention. But you can't invest yourself in it.
No.
But
the second you're the second you're like in the thick of it, making enemies, and you've done it wrong.
No, so you just do a very like a mild take that gets
just a mild popular take.
Yeah, that can get enough people are like, yeah, I agree with this. Yeah, and hope it escapes your orbit a little bit.
Yeah. How about these men not washing their legs in the shower?
What freaks?
Yeah. Cast iron. You ever get into like cast iron pan discourse? Yeah.
It's impossible to know. Listen, online virality is pointless. I remember when I saw an account had like 500,000 followers after a month, and all it was like lightly posting source images for memes and with no attribution, like no actual like meaningful sourcing. But people,
no, you don't need it.
Right? People would be like, "Y'all remember these?" And they'll post a picture of like a Bic pen, and people would be like, "Oh shit, dude, I remember those."
Yeah.
So
if you ever drank out of one of these, your childhood was wild.
Yeah.
The mug.
A Capri Sun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's so me though. But to be relatable, but just to
love to peddle nostalgia from 5 years ago.
Yes, I love. The only way I relate to life is through nostalgia. I like there's a Cut Copy song called "Strange Nostalgia for the Future," and I like the idea of it. But to get back to the original point, if I can finally get back to the original point, without distracting myself, honestly. Anyway, Kotaku had posted this thing. It's like Sonic, and someone's like, wouldn't it be cool if indie games were better, were paid attention to beyond like just used as a cudgel against large games? And I gotta ask, if your game, if by the world,
use it as a cudgel all you want.
Yeah,
someone wants to do that. Yeah,
that's how I saw it. I saw it through the developer of what's the name of the game? It was one of those. What is the name of that game?
That game.
The game, the platformer game that was like kind of weird. A long time
weird
ago.
Platform.
It was like a little flower, and then the world would get all screwed up looking.
Oh, yeah. I know the one you mean. I don't know the name.
Yeah. Anyway.
What if a happy thing got all fucked up?
Yeah. That developer had said that thing, that exact.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Use me as a cudgel all you want. So if you were used as a cudgel, by the world's wind, how in your Polygon, Kotaku, PC Gamer article that doesn't obviously it's not going to use the title of your game in the headline or anything.
Yeah.
Which game do you think would be your this indie game, etc., etc.?
Like what like AAA thing am I like beating over the head with my indie game?
Yeah. Or which AAA game are you being like reduced to?
Oh, am I being reduced to? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Probably like whatever. Like the next brilliant idea Kojima has that to like. What if delivery drivers walked around a lot? So I guess a Death Stranding thing.
Yeah. So this ocean based Death Stranding.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make a. What did he call it? A strand type.
Yeah, a Strand game.
Yeah. I hope some like strand likes become in the same way like roguelikes are almost totally divorced from.
Yes, have nothing to do with Rogue anymore. Rogue long
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
I'm getting really annoyed because I can't. Oh, Eversion.
yeah, okay. But yeah, I think game developers have had it too damn easy for too damn long, and they deserve to get cudgeled a bit.
Yes. I'm in a deep belief that game developers respect their audience's time too much.
Yeah.
Respect, and not by that, not by mean like they make your games longer or whatever.
But like catering to people.
Yeah. Make your games just like unapproachable.
Yes. Oh man. You know what's that game jam? Ludum Dare.
Yeah.
So I did that twice with a friend, and like both times we made these like real real weird like games that like to make each other laugh, like real weird comedy sort of games that like really non-gamer stuff.
Yeah.
And like afterwards there was a whole bunch of people who would like stream people's games and like rate them because there's like a whole big rating period. And like every time I submitted one of those, it was like always super hit or miss. Like I made this game called Dung Beetle Sisyphus Takes His Daughter to Work, which is about Sisyphus, who's a dung beetle, taking his daughter to work, and then he has a midlife crisis because his daughter thinks his job of pushing a ball of poop up the hill is lame.
Yeah.
And like the theme of the jam was stuck in a loop, so it's like, yeah, he's in a rut, but also he's like pushing the boulder up a hill over and over, and like blah blah blah. Anyway, it was like a dumb game. You push the boulder up a hill until you get bored, and then you try to buy a condo in hell. And that's the end of the game. And like so it was so hit or miss. Like people either thought it was like the funniest shit ever, or there's like I don't get it. Where's the game? One person like literally broke out like that like chart that talks about like flow states versus like arousal, and they brought out a chart and they're like you did it wrong. I wasn't hitting the flow state, and it was so funny to me. I was dying. Like he's breaking out the calipers to try to like break down this weird game shitpost game I made.
Yeah, he's just measuring the skull in your game. Determine whether it's a valuable game or. Listen, I think part of it comes from the mindset programming brings, and like the kind of people programming brings into the art form.
Yeah.
That you kind of get these analytical people who wouldn't know what a piece of art was if it was thoroughly explained to them for 3.5 hours straight.
Yeah.
So
there's a different guy who streamed it who like laughed his head off the whole time, but then at the end when like you had to rate these specific like axes, was like, did I have fun? And it took him like 2 minutes of deliberation to give it 4 stars for fun.
I'll have you know you rated 19th out of humor.
Yeah.
Everything else a little bit lower. Let's ignore that.
Yeah. No, it was That's how that thing went. There were people who were so confused and like just like I don't get it. This isn't a game. How do I win?
Yes. I recently I was looking through my master list of games to do my handpick invite, and this month is looking rather dire in terms of there are very few submissions, but I've got a healthy waiting list, and eventually I should be fine. It's
Nice.
real ebb and flow to this thing. It's very weird.
Hmm.
But it was a game where someone was like, I don't get what the point of this game is. It was that kind of post.
Yeah.
And then the developers respond like, the point is to get lost. And he's like, I will get a glass of wine and put on some good music and like he's like, okay, I'll meet your vibe. And it was a very rare feeling to see someone like try and meet the thing, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, that's like wow.
It's like, but I even like pre Indiepocalypse, I definitely had people who were like playing my own games who were like, I don't get what the point of this game is, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. There is no point. You don't win. how do
Yeah.
how do I
I
win?
love when
You don't.
Yeah, I love especially on like a game that takes 30 seconds to play when like people go instead of just like moving on to the next list of hundreds of 30-second internet games, like take the time to like be like, I don't get this. This is like and I don't hate it, but it's like, huh, you had like your impulse rather than like I personally would have like if a short game that takes 30 seconds didn't mesh with me, like I would have moved on and instantly forgot. But like in order to like take the effort and like actually like leave comments and like explain I don't understand your game like on something that doesn't take that long. I was like, I like it's hard to get in the head of that for me.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to find. I see if I could find what my thing. I did like not bad on a Ludum once.
Oh yeah.
Like my very first one, I did like not the worst.
Yeah, it's a weird system. Like I kind of like the social element, but like the only reason I was able to like engage with it was because it was the pandemic, so I could just like sit down and like watch these streams and like play all these games through the
Yeah,
like judging period, which is the only way to get people to play your game.
yeah. It seems like it's kind of gotten too big in a lot, in some ways, you know.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely unmanageable and like the only like it's hard like I happen to find it at a time in my life where I could just sit down and spend like 2 hours a day looking at random crap.
Yeah,
But like any other time, it just wouldn't have like I would have made the game and pieced out, and then no one would have seen it.
yeah. It's become too much. I think it was like maybe too many people started using the um oh a friend of the I'm like I recognize the name friend of the Indiepocalypse as it were. Kotisti was also in Ludum
Hmm.
Dare 48. Been
Nice.
around, been around for a while.
Yeah.
Wait, this can't be 48. Oh, I must not have been in 48 because
I think
50s.
I was in that
Yeah.
one. I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Oh, right. I wrote 48 because the 48 hour.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, gotcha.
Yes, yes. I was like, uh, anyway, we're really getting the weeds of it right now, and
Yeah.
um, kind of don't know what's going on at this. So the show.
Mhm.
It's been going for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We're gonna wind the show down because this show could basically. I mean, we could just sprawl around forever looking at these
Yeah.
things, trying to
Um.
talking about video games.
Yeah. I think my if I want to give a final message, it would be cudgels are good, and you should hit people with them, especially AAA game developers.
Yes, yes. Uh, 2013, Ludum Dare 2013. I'm trying to see if I can't find the 2013. Which ones were in 2013? Okay, it was minimalism. There we go. So I want Ludum Dare 26. I love it when the theme is that, minimalism. You only get one.
Yeah, man, I was like all the themes that are just like an idea for a game mechanic. I'm like, why would you?
Why would you pick this? Because a lot of people
Yeah,
had an idea for a game mechanic.
yeah, but then like people vote for them too. I'm like, God damn it.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
gone. Maybe you can't even like.
Oh,
Maybe on the Ludum Dare site, maybe it doesn't even go back that far.
damn. Lost to the void.
Yeah. I mean that's how these things go. I was looking at
Yeah.
another game page, and it was what if I just do it this style? If I just type 26 in there. No, it only goes back to 37. It looks like.
Huh? Damn. Yeah, the Internet Archives. We're bad at keeping track of our stuff.
So I can never prove that I didn't do that bad with that entry.
I believe you.
Trust me, I scored fairly well with my weird boxes that were a meditation on art.
Nice.
But I've gotten back into development personally as well. It's been fun.
Nice. Yeah.
It's like I've taken a sketchbook approach where I just like sketch stuff out.
Yeah.
I've been
Making little shit's great.
like this one is taking longer than I want because I have to. What's the word? I've been thinking of it as like I'm eating my veggies, because I have to. I have to make these systems that I know I'm going to use later.
Oh yeah.
But it's like I have to make weapons and a way to do multiplayer and all this bullshit that I'm like I don't want to do, but I know when I do another game later and I can just like plug these scripts right in, I'll be so happy with myself.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Have your dessert later.
yes, I will have my dessert when I can just add a weapon. Like I don't even have to think about it. I can just like add it right in immediately.
Yeah.
And then I have melee and ranged attacks and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been using Famicase for it. Are you familiar with Famicase?
I'm not.
It's a art gallery thing in Japan /
Okay.
the internet where you make fake Famicom cases.
Oh, neat. Okay.
I just pull them up randomly and I make the game.
Oh, that's a cool project.
And I've just been making a little sketchbook out of it.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Because I think people need to like fool around more,
Yeah.
and not have like not even in the sense of like this game has no objective or end. It's more like
No, but just like I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna start putting stuff into a thing, and you can click on stuff and see what it becomes.
yeah, much like
If
in the way
anything.
like the page of a sketchbook doesn't necessarily tell a story, but it's still like valuable to do.
Oh, what if I draw a cool skateboard and see where that takes me?
Yeah. And then I'll post my collection of skateboards that I drew and all these in my sketchbook later.
Yeah.
But sketchbook aside, all this aside, Summer Game Fest. I'm getting on this last radio show. I'll do it when I do my plugs. Leo, what have you got to promote, to plug, as they say in the parlance of podcasts?
What do I got to plug? Well, buy Indiepocalypse 29 because I'm in it.
Perfect.
Yeah, and also there was this cool video I saw on YouTube that was like horse farts on a dog and it's like 10 seconds long. Go check that out too.
That seemed like a video that would have been posted either yesterday or in 2005.
Yeah, I don't know. It was great though. You can really hear the horse fart.
You could also pick up by the words one just by itself too.
Yeah. Oh, and I got another game, Hot Seagulls in Your Area for all your physics-based seagull kissing needs.
Yeah, it has some laurels on it.
Yeah, from the one website that covered us and said he really liked it. Turns out you can just draw laurels on anything.
Hey, Leo, hate to disappoint you,
Yeah.
but that link 404 is now.
Hell yeah. So good. All right, I'll have to. Perfect.
1 second.
I love the internet.
Give me a second.
What?
Okay, no, you can still find it. Just like that very specific hyperlink 404s, but
Okay, you can still find the article.
yeah, if you search Hot Seagulls, you'll get the article under a different URL now.
Nice. All right. Great. I'll have to update that or not because I might not remember.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, that is a fun thing I found is like one of the pages I went to, one linked and the other two forward. I've come to ones that like the sites don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, lost like internets in the rain.
But the link, but the stuff is there. The quote is still there.
Yeah, yeah. That's the important part is that it looks like someone cares.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have a. I don't have the heart to do a brand account.
Oh yeah, the brand account again was like from when a friend told me that we should do a brand account. I'm like, great, if you do it all, I'm 100% on board with this. And then kind of got left with it. Huh?
No,
Here it is, the brand account.
I similarly, someone suggested me to do a brand account for Indiepocalypse, and this was like before it even started, or like when it just started.
Yeah.
And someone else already has it.
Oh man.
So I did
Yeah,
the
like
thing.
yeah.
I did the thing.
Like there's an appeal in an alt. Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I
Classic.
was like, I'm like posting it to 2 accounts.
Yeah, I think my Twitter handle is like underscore Naruto. Because like every character combination's already been taken.
Yeah, you got the underscore in the front.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'll just do this. Yeah.
The spicy underscore. You might, and listen, if you're listening to this radio show, you may also own By the World's Wind as part of the very massive Queer Games Bundle 2022.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check that out. Give money to people who need it.
Give money to bundles when then the bundles also.
Yeah, and get some games out of it.
Yeah, and they also pay people. Those are my.
That, yeah, man. Look at that.
Listen, charity is all well and good, but isn't it nice to also pay people?
Yeah, I don't know. I think giving to a massive organization with little accountability that launders their money is great.
Yeah, no, you should.
Uh, not to be down on charities, but
Yeah,
like that's
but-
those they are generally exist for billionaires to launder their tax money and
you know what's a great charity? People.
yeah, exactly.
I never submit to bundles, but I'm looking at this bundle and all these people, and I'm like these because I always feel I have it like in my head that like, oh no, I can't like contribute to a bundle like this. I'm already doing a thing that is
Yeah,
like,
I'm the person who bundles.
right. I am the bundler,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm like, even though there's like 400 people in this, I feel like that I'm siphoning money that like.
Yeah, but the only way this I get that feeling. The only way this limps along is when people just like giving money to each other back and forth.
But also fucking like mid bosses in here. I'm looking at some people. I'm like, these people.
Yeah.
If they're in here, I could have easily just added a game to this.
Yeah. Yeah, like these guys don't need the money.
Yeah. I'm going to.
Granted, like having a few like more mainstream games in there definitely helps a bundle.
Yeah. Is it those? So they're the ones.
Trojan horsing all the rest of ours like unmarketable crap.
Yeah, all the
The power of,
bullshit
like-
in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, buy their stuff. Jerry,
Yeah.
hello. What have you got to promote? Are you...
Yes, sorry, I'm still here. I was just too awkward to jump in.
No, that's fine.
I have absolutely nothing to promote.
Perfect.
I think.
One might check out Wonderly Games. I might recommend.
Yeah, I'll promote it. Yeah, check out Jerry's stuff.
It is it's Wonderly, kind of like how you would. It's spelled how you would think you would spell it. So figure it out, buddy.
Yeah.
I often have to think like, do I need to explain to someone? But like, no, this spells how you think it spells. And for my part, I would say, look at this. This Queer Games bundle is just like, is this the Queer Games bundle? Is this the Indiepocalypse reunion?
Look at that.
Yeah. Weird, like when you make a bundle of like outsiders and unmarketables. Weird that you seem to the kind of people it draws in, you know?
Huh.
Huh.
I
Huh.
wonder what this says about society.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder
We
what
live in one.
I feel like it says something. You know, I'm just saying. I feel like it says something.
Yeah. Much to think about.
Yeah. Thoughts to be given to this idea of.
It couldn't be me, but I bet someone might have a thought about this.
Yeah. 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 There's someone out there who spend like 3 seconds looking at the demographics of people involved and probably go, huh, how weird. Maybe this guy just doesn't run around on Twitter all the time yelling about diversity and his ultra diverse bundle because it feels like empty marketing when people do that. And it feels like you're selling people's identities to make a buck.
Look, we added brown NPCs to this game.
Yes, that's
this
what...
is our 30 plus white man team.
Yes,
added some brown characters to this game.
Precisely. Our team of 50 straight men added a rainbow flag somewhere in the game. Can you find it? Sorry. No, we added to the comic, not the game itself. It's only.
Oh yeah, you remember that? Like someone like really zoomed in on the Celeste screenshot.
I saw that just like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. I wasn't talking about the game image. I wasn't talking about this screenshot I took. Where I zoomed in on the flag so that now it's real big.
He's like, you don't have to look. It's a small thing you have to look. He's like, I do have to look at it. It's like, what do you mean? What do you?
Beautiful.
In my hotel room in Atlanta, in the depths of, wow, there's so many people. My God. Anyway, I'm just shocked myself of like how many games I recognize about it being explicitly included in Indiepocalypse. Like there's so many of them, or if not the games, the developers.
Yeah.
I'm surprising myself. You know, I'm like, oh, didn't know that about that developer, because their games are just about games. You know, they're just games about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Queers, they're just like you and me.
Right, they don't have to. Their game doesn't have to be an endless parading of their identity.
Yeah, not that I've enjoyed plenty of parading, from other people, but like
it can be both things, as it turns out.
Yeah. There's definitely the more mainstream subset of games are very like fixated on the parading aspect.
Yeah, right. Or like I'm sure there's some pressure some people feel that like they have to parade.
Yeah, or like, am I a legit member of the community if I don't?
Yeah.
That's more complicated and less funny.
No, it's listen. I like the millennials who are just like disrespecting codifying of identities left and right.
Yeah.
It's a real treat.
I have no respect. I have no respect for anything, so everyone do what you want, and
I'm taking
once again cudgel.
Exactly, taking a cudgel to the over taxonomizing of like identities.
Hit the identities. Hit your dad. Hit your landlord.
Perfect.
Unless
yourself. You like your dad.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you know, like friendly. You're playing.
Yeah, listen, dads love to be hit. Parentheses friendly.
Yeah. In the next game, cudgel your dad softly.
Yeah.
Parentheses.
Right, my stuff. Indiepocalypse, you should buy it. I think it's good. I think it's got a good collection of games in it from good developers who are making good stuff. You can buy it regularly by going to like indiepocalypse.com or my personal itch.io page, which is pizzapranks.itch.io. Eventually, I'm
Good
gonna get it.
page.
Yeah, my own game. A couple of my own games are on there. In the
Yeah.
in the fervor of desperately needing to get money.
Hey, you got your Seinfeld
Yeah,
tabletop game?
I made a sign. I think, and listen, folks, I think that game's actually pretty good. Like, just give yourself the $3, spend the $3 on it, and you'll be like, "Ah, this game's well written. It's kind of funny too."
Yeah.
I think it's I like to adapt. I like to adapt things into games.
Yeah.
Thus the Famicase sketchbook.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I like to, and not just like turn it. Like, I like to, adapt something's essence into a game.
Yeah.
Thus, my new release of 69 games about romance. If you're
Oh
out there,
nice.
if you're out there and you're a fan of the Magnetic Fields' 69 love songs, and you were thinking, what if somebody turned those into tabletop RPGs or other kinds of party games? Then that's
Get all your friends together,
yeah.
put on the magnetic fields, and play this game.
Some of them are like real straightforward tabletop RPGs. Some of them are highly abstract, and could be personally uncomfortable between two people. But
That's the best kind of tabletop.
yes, yeah, great levels of discomfort
Yeah.
and overly personal. But thus is the nature of art.
Exactly.
Submit your own games if you've got them to indiepocalypse.com/submit. I'm looking for games from all types. I'm looking for games that are short, games that are long, games that have gameplay loops. Good. Actually, let's be fair. I'm looking for only games that have good flow states.
Yeah.
Good gameplay loops. Good core loops.
Yeah, it's all about the loops. We all.
Yeah. I'm all about the loops, man. I'm just if I was playing a game, I'm like, these loops aren't good.
If this game doesn't, yeah, if I'm not doing something over and over and entering that state where I'm just like flowing on these loops,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
That's
No
why
other feelings.
That's why Sonic the Hedgehog is the best game, because he
It's
collects
full of loops.
he runs in loops, he collects loops. When he like does a little thing on the ground where he speeds up real fast, he kind of looks like a loop.
Yeah. Honestly, no other good games.
No, besides Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
It has the most loops.
That's the only one. Once you add tails in, not enough loops.
He's got those little tails, so they break the loop.
Yeah, not quite. No, Knuckles the Echidna, don't get me started. Not interested.
That bastard.
Amy the with the hammer, nope. Vic the cat, Silver, Rose. Oh, Amy Rose, that's her name. Blaze.
Keep going.
Chaos and the Chows.
Oh yeah, you can't forget the Chows.
Oh, never forget Shadow the Hedgehog. And
He's the one who has a gun.
He's the one who has a gun. It says it on the box.
And I remember, I remember being in middle school. This is gonna date me, but sitting at the lunch table and this the classic like emo kid came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog is the only good Sonic game because he's the only one who has the balls to pick up a gun and shoot someone."
Fuck, dude. It's true though.
It's true, and that stuck with me forever.
Let's before I get to my last plug, we're gonna play a game here on stream, and it's called How Close in Release Date Were Dirge of Cerberus and Shadow the Hedgehog? Because I feel like they're really cut from the same cloth.
I'm gonna take a real. I'm gonna say 5 years.
Jared, do you have a guess?
And not really, but I'll say 4 years. Just
1 second. Let me. I want to get the exact math, so I want to know exactly who is closest. I'm not worried about going over rules,
Rules? I don't believe in them.
Let's do a fun thing where I type in something and let's see if there was yes. I typed in time between dates, and that is a thing that does in fact exist. Where I can just type in 2 dates. Something I was thinking about that I was hoping existed was a thing that would tell me a searching thing for a podcast where I could search to determine like guest appearances, like if I really like someone and I wanted to. The answer was 73 Days Apart. So that emo kid was having the time of his life.
Yeah, no, he was thriving.
Yeah, it was real emo kid winter. Just finish up every after you just finished up every single route of Shadow the Hedge, because that game has like 20 endings or something.
Yeah,
You could just like roll right straight into Dirge of Cerberus.
beautiful. Just
I kind of want to play Dirge of Cerberus. It looks like shit, but I like.
that's the best though.
I kind of like. I feel like game design kind of peaked at the PS2 era.
We're hitting the wall of where we're like really just changing how the pores look on characters for no reason.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe that's unfair. Maybe it peaked at PS. I think.
but then I think I like the
Triple A
GameCube
game design, I should say.
Yeah. I like the GameCube, PlayStation 2. That's fun.
I think
You have enough polygons to tell what things look like, but also you can like also abstract things and make them look like garbage.
yeah, and there was like things weren't so quite so codified,
Yeah, no one knew what they were doing fully.
and like games as a service hadn't quite taken off yet, which I think has been
Blessed.
really, I think that's really been like the death of design.
Fortnite is an experience. It's not a game.
Sorry, yeah. There's too many games as experiences, you know.
Oh,
I have to log on every day to Apex Legends to. Overwatch is has been a real like disastrous turning point for game design. Honestly, the proliferation of or is it League of Legends' fault? Is this all Dota's fault? Whoever you want to lay blame at the feet of for the person who like really codified the character.
Who invented Farmville?
Yeah. Who made Space War? I think it's that person's fault. Whoever made Space War
okay.
really screwed everything up for everybody else. But this gun has 3 barrels on it.
Yeah, I'd say.
And I think each
more.
one of those barrels has.
Why
like
stop there?
Has like a wolf head on it.
Perfect.
I think the Alone in the Dark for PS1 had barrel. Like each gun had an extra barrel on it, and I thought that was cool as a teen.
I also feel like that stuff just doesn't like that over the top like hell yeah cool sort of thing just doesn't work as well in like hyper realism space of today, where it's like you like I can like. It's like perfectly placed where you don't have to even be like ironic about it because it's like low poly enough that like yeah fuck yeah triple barrel gun wolf mode kill like it's just fun and like it feels tired when it's like the details are you can see the like you can see all the like bevels on the wolf head.
Yeah, I think irony. When normal people took up irony, it kind of was a real.
To be ironic about our irony now, so hard.
I think that's what like born sincerity is like, because also like, very I guess mainstream irony is kind of like I remember so. Back in the heady days of Movie Pass, if you remember those days, when you could see 1 million movies for free, and I was seeing movies constantly.
Nice.
I remember seeing a trailer for Kong Skull Island, and there was like some weird alien or weird creature in it, and I forget what they did, but they like.
Was it a big gorilla?
No, it wasn't the big gorilla. It was another thing, another denizen of the Skull Island. And there was like this weird creature, and then like we call him a cute name. Like I forget what it was, but they established some kind of like lore or fiction for it.
Yeah.
And then they undercut themselves immediately. They immediately made a joke about their dumb name. And
they can fly now.
Yes, exactly. It's the equivalent of that. It's just like stop undercutting yourself and like commit to your fiction.
That happened.
God, just grow up and go watch Flash Gordon, like George Lucas did. It's well, okay, we need to shut the show down, but I think the problem is like it's derivatives of derivatives of derivatives, you know.
Yep.
And people are inspired by things that were inspired by things that were inspired by things. So they're like
Yeah, I've noticed that. I feel
so
just like modern media landscape, just like remake things that were instead of like going all the way back to like the samurai movies that inspired
Right.
the Star
like
Like-
when Lucas is inspired by like old serials and like Kurosawa, he's inspired by kind of like these sort of like more or less direct source
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, so like people are like parroting and telephoning these tropes that they don't fully like know the origins of, so
Yeah.
it's just like doesn't work.
Right, when you're no longer inspired by direct sources, by someone who just wasn't inspired by another piece of media so directly, I think it kind of
Yeah.
you start to get muddied. But speaking of muddiness and griminess and dirt, and I found the segue to the final thing. On this last week's show, I was speaking to Sonny, and I think we were talking about like I should just do my own showcase, you know, of like showcases for the sickos out there.
Yeah.
And now I decided I'm just gonna do a sicko showcase during the
Fuck
pledge
yeah.
drive. And bear in mind this is a pledge drive or a showcase put on in less than 2 weeks by one person.
Oh yeah.
So, but I think I'm gonna maybe if people like it, maybe I'll just do my own showcase of just like real rotten bullshit that is
Nice.
like truly unmarketable and like
Yes.
not polished. Things that
I-
lack in loops, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm
Eat shit, Sonic.
exactly. I'm so apologies, Sonic. Apologies. I recently got followed on Itch by Ben Schwartz, so I'm sure he's an avid listener now, and I don't want to disrespect the man. He has a hard enough time picking his comedy friends. But what a 1-2 punch! I wonder if there's more of them in that too.
I'm gonna unfollow you because he hears this.
He's going to.
That-
I'm so sorry, Ben.
Please come back, man.
Please, you and your no follower. I blew up. Anyway, it was very weird to see. Just a completely unrelated person who happened to also be named Ben Schwartz. So I'm like, I know what that name I associate with somebody else. But anyway, I don't have a cute link for it. Just go to my Twitter page if you're hearing this live, or on the Patreon. I don't have a cute link for my submission thing. It's just a Google form. It's just forms.gle/RSXR3SIZ. Actually, it trails off into ellipses, so I actually can't read out the whole thing. But
Non-profits you make from the pledge drive, you can get a brand account, hire a PR manager.
no, I hate that shit so much. That's the thing.
Get your gifts lined up.
That's the thing that
Like
bugs me.
most mainstream.
So, and I don't feel bad about using the sicko JPEG because
Yeah.
I'm an old school Kelly head. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
I have like I was reading
You've
Kelly.
earned it.
I was reading Kelly comics back in high school. Okay, and that was a long time ago. So I'm so used to sicko and crying Lady Liberty and the teen with the cap over his head and the ill-fitting pants. The sad American
Teens
family.
hate normal pants.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how many people are familiar with Mr. Sickos who aren't actually familiar with Kelly comics.
Huh.
I should ask you. Do you know who Kelly is? Or are you familiar with these Kelly comics from which the Sickos originate?
Not enough. It's like a vague. I've seen them around. I'm like, yeah, that's the thing from the comics.
Do you
That's
know
it.
the Onion?
Yes.
That's what Kelly is like the political cartoons for the Onion.
Oh,
Basically.
oh, yes, 100. Yes, I've seen.
Yeah, that's what Kelly is. Is basically.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yes, I completely brain farted there. I've seen the original comic.
Yeah, there's.
And it's yes, his like fake Ben Garrison.
Yeah, basically.
Comics. Yeah, I love them. They're great.
They've basically. I mean, let's be fair. They've basically got like the one joke. But
that's true. I feel like they've sort of like Ben Garrison has sort of like become unparodiable.
Yeah.
Parodyable in recent times, but like in the moment, the Sickos was great.
It feels like one of those things where you could like try out any 10 of them and it's like good for you and you kind of get the idea.
Yeah, you don't need to read them all.
Right. But if you get one or two, you got to see Lady Liberty crying in a window.
Rap bands.
Yeah, exactly. Find some middle-aged family, some white bread family that's like really sad because there's something on TV is changing.
Yeah, the M&M is not sexy anymore.
Exactly, and there's Lady Liberty's crying. It says something like femininity is dead.
Yeah.
They've probably got their impression. The family's looking. So I'm gonna pitch you a Kelly comic real quick. So
okay,
on the there's a family like your suburban middle class white family in their house. The TV says like no more heels for the Lady M&M or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like they're
getting furious. I'm frothing at the mouth.
Well, no, they're not looking at the TV. Because they're looking off, aside from the TV, because their daughters come in and she's wearing just like tennis shoes or whatever, and she's throwing her heels away, and she's like, "No more for me."
Whatever happened to America?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what Kelly's saying. He's saying, "Well, no, he always has a pun."
Yeah.
And it says something like "heel boy" or something.
Yeah,
maybe their son's also wearing heels because they're trying to add too much.
Yeah.
They're trying to put too much gender stuff in at once.
Yeah. And then like in the background for no reason there's a school with like it looks like an evil mansion with lightning bolts and it says like critical race theory.
Perfect. I made that joke, but then like the first one I clicked on was happy giddy procreators heading to their hospital, and then the baby in the ultrasound saying, "I'm non-binary." And it says celebration ruining fetuses because now these people can't have their gender reveal party, which is an asterisk church. Fucking shit, Kelly, really on the nose. Just like it is whoever the artist is truly like perfected this craft of this terrible like straw man style.
Yeah,
political.
He's really mastered the form.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to keep up though, because the ones doing it for real, the Ben Garrisons of the world, just keep getting more and more like insane and unpredictable ways. It's
right. New things to tear down.
Yeah.
Think more tilting at windmills, as they say.
Beautiful, yeah.
But to tilt that to no longer to tilt the windmill that is the video game space, I suppose, and to no longer do that. Anyway, I'm ending the show is what I'm saying.
Hanging up the old lance.
Hanging up the lance. Come on, Sancho Panza. We're heading back to. I read the first 80 pages maybe of.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying.
Of Don Quixote in high school. That 700-page Penguin Press cover or book.
Yeah, we know what it's about generally, and no one's read it.
Yeah. We get the
one idea. Of those classics everyone references about, and no one's read.
But it's you get the idea. He's a real loon.
Yeah.
You can't fight a windmill. Those aren't giants.
No, silly old man.
They're windmills. Anyway.
He's so silly.
I really like the
bet it's a metaphor for something, but I'm not going to examine it.
There's a I wasn't too I never became the pretentious high school kid that I could have been, which I think it was good for my later years pretension, you know.
Mm. Yeah, you gotta. It's like a fine wine.
Yeah. Because I think if you become too pretentious as too young, you run the risk of just becoming like like the film Twitter Fight Club kind of guy, you know, that never quite ages out of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Into like the wider world, and you never see the metaphor.
Yeah, you can hold your pretentious beliefs without having to be insufferable.
Yeah, and then it allows you to view the world in a broader thing and not think that a bunch of movies that explain themselves are the most confusing movies on the internet. That was a fun little image I saw recently of like, I've never seen Shutter Island, but it ranked as one of the most some site was like, these are the most confusing things, and it's like people like, it literally explains the movie within the movie.
Most confusing movie, Winnie the Pooh's Big Adventure.
It was like all Christopher Nolan movies, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
this fantastic Mr. Fox. What is he doing?
Not genuinely like perplexing,
yeah,
or obtuse movies. No Jodorowsky or anything.
Why are all these dogs living on this island?
I don't understand. Oh, why does Owen Wilson keep showing up? What happened to Luke Wilson? What happened to the? That's the most confusing thing. What happened to the third Wilson brother? Which?
He got eaten by the other two.
Which one was that? Not Luke. Who's the third Wilson? The one that was in Bottle Rocket. Because weren't they all in Bottle Rocket? Anyway, no. Andrew, knock it off. Stop looking at Bottle Rocket.
No. Keep going. Show 5 hours long.
This isn't fucking Wes Anderson Party Zone or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of auteurs that kind of get don't quite understand the aesthetic, it also has a very specific aesthetic. But the show, I'm closing it. We're done. That's it. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Ending, transition, stopping recording.